Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday. I am meteorologist Liam Kenny. Let's start off September talking about a massive hurricane that made landfall this past Sunday. A major Category 4 hurricane, the first major landfalling hurricane of the season. Hurricane Ida, maximum sustained winds of 150 miles an hour, low minimum pressure of 930 millibars. Absolutely catastrophic damage was brought to portions of southeastern Louisiana. Now, before we go any further, I want to tell you guys something that was very interesting to me and probably will be interesting to all of you. Obviously, we all know that hurricanes always strengthen whenever they're out over the very warm waters of either the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, or Atlantic. So you would think that the eye wall was better structured when it was out here over the open ocean waters of the Gulf of Mexico. As a matter of fact, it was the opposite. As soon as this eye wall made landfall just to the west of Grand Isle, Louisiana, the structure of the eye wall was actually better, considering as those onshore winds were pushing everything onshore, including storm surge, along with all the rainfall that have already fallen. You're looking at several inches of water, very warm water, over southeastern Louisiana. And as soon as that eye wall made landfall, as soon as it was over the very warm waters of southeastern Louisiana, it actually formed better than it did over southeastern Louisiana. Here's some of the here's some of the looks at the peak wind gusts that we saw. Right where it made landfall, 172 mile an hour wind gusts. That is just absolutely incredible. Grand Isle gusted to 146. Right near right near New Orleans and Kenner, a gust up to 90 miles an hour. Up towards Baton Rouge, 63 miles an hour. Hammond, 59 miles an hour. These are some absolutely catastrophic numbers. Here's some of the pictures of the storm damage. This is in LaPlace, Louisiana. Several 18-wheelers completely submerged underwater. This whole parking lot looks like this whole highway completely underwater. And then right here in Grand Isle, this is where the eye wall went right over. So many roofs blown off of structures. So much debris here in the water as those very strong waves were being pushed on shore. It brought so many, feet of water, salt water, to places like this community. It's just absolutely devastating, to think about what this system did. I know for a fact that over 1 million customers in the state of Louisiana were without power the day after this monster made landfall. And unfortunately, I know that one person has lost their life. I'm not sure if anybody else has lost their life. I know for a fact that one person has lost their life. So my prayers go out to everybody that has lost their life. This was just an absolute catastrophe that went on in Louisiana. Here's what is left of post-tropical cyclone Ida. Once again, because it is now over land where there was no water, it has now been downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone and is still bringing very heavy rain to portions of the mid-Atlantic, like Washington, D.C., and then also portions of the Northeast and New England. We have Tropical Depression Kate, which is now just southeast of Bermuda. It will continue to head northeastward and then eventually diminish out. And then we have our brand new area, Invest 91L, which is currently in the southwestern Caribbean Sea. It only has about a 30% chance, but we'll get into that. We'll get into more in just a couple of minutes. And then also going way out here into the eastern Atlantic, we also do have a brand new system, Tropical Storm Larry. This system is forecasted to be a major hurricane within the next 48 hours. And right now, it is not forecasted to go near the United States. However, like we've seen with a lot of tropical systems this year, including like Henri, that system was, supposed to go nowhere, and then it made landfall as a tropical storm. This system could become a landfalling tropical system or hurricane anywhere in the United States. So for all information on Larry, just keep it on my website and also on my YouTube channel at Liam's Weather. Here's a look at the satellite from post-tropical cyclone Ida. There is the eye, or the center, trying to still somewhat stay intact. There's a lot of convection here across portions of northeastern Pennsylvania and then into the northeast, but really the system won't be really going into anything. Just some very heavy rain across portions of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York City, and then eventually into New England. This could be a very bad flooding event. So if you live anywhere in this general area, definitely be sure that you're watching all your local authorities and listening to them. God forbid there is any flash flooding going on. Here's a look at Tropical Depression K. This is the system that is now east of Bermuda. You really can't see a center of anything. Maybe somewhere right in there. There is a little bit. There is a couple of signs of some counterclockwise rotation. I'm thinking that the center might be right in here. A lot of deep convection here along the western and northwestern side. But other than that, this system really won't grow into anything. And here you can see by the forecast track, it will remain a tropical depression over the next 36 to 48 hours and then completely diminish. So there is nothing to worry about with this system. However, we definitely have to keep a very close eye on our brand new system, Tropical Depression Larry. You can definitely see how it is rotating counterclockwise. Plenty of very deep convection on that western side, indicating that there are some very strong thunderstorms firing up in the lowest and highest portions of the atmosphere. Here's the track. As you can see, this system will not remain a depression for very much longer. It will gradually strengthen into a tropical storm tonight. Actually, I think it is. I forgot to change that. And then gradually become a hurricane by tomorrow, gaining Category 2 hurricane strength as we head into Friday, and then finally becoming a major Category 3 hurricane by this Sunday afternoon with maximum sustained winds of 115 miles an hour. Now, let me just say this. Even though it is forecasted to take a little bit a small turn northeast and then possibly head away from the United States, it is still very, very early in its life, so it is by no means out of the question for it to continue to head westward and then eventually head towards the Gulf of Mexico. Might turn just more westward and then head towards the eastern coast, maybe like the Carolinas, or it may turn way northeast and head away from the United States. Everything is still on the table with Larry. So with that being said, if anybody lives across the Gulf of Mexico, Florida Peninsula, or right up along the whole entire eastern coast, you and I need to be watching the system very, very closely as we head over the next 3 to 5 days, because this system could be a very strong tropical system that could be impacting all of us as we head over the next couple of days. Now, coming up, everything you need to know about my event tonight. Alrighty, so for those of you who don't know, I'm going to be hosting a live trivia event on my channel tonight, right on my YouTube channel. Once again, tonight, September 1st, 2021. It's going to be this afternoon at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The topic is going to be weather, and I don't know if any of you have heard of the game platform called Kahoot. I know a lot of kids play it in school, including myself, so I'm going to be playing it on there. I made it like a little fun trivia event that we can all play. Now, in case you're wondering how to join, this is the steps. Head to my YouTube channel, scroll all the way down, and then you're going to see where it says upcoming live streams right here. Right here, this is where I scheduled the live stream. As soon as you see this little icon right there, click that. And then as soon as you click that, scroll down to the bottom where you see this little button that says show more. This is the description of the live event. Go down into the description, click where it says show more, and then as soon as you do that, a little link's gonna pop up that says like https://kahoot.it. You're gonna click that link, and then as soon as you do that, it's gonna bring you up to a screen that looks like this. And then as soon as the live event starts, I'm gonna display a pin or a number on my screen. As soon as you type that number right into here, it's gonna ask you to put in your name. Any name is fine with me as long as it's not an inappropriate name that kids could potentially see. I'm not gonna go into anything more than that. But as soon as you put in your name, you will be good to go. Now, please keep in mind with this game that you cannot participate on the event that you are currently watching the events on. For example, while you can watch it on your iPad or tablet, then you can play on your cell phone. So for example, like me, if I were playing this, I could have the event up on my phone or my computer. Let me put it this way. You can have the event on your computer and then play it on your phone. For example, this is what your phone is going to look like. I'm going to show you 4 different options that you can choose from on my screen. For example, here's the question and like the answers right here. So let's say that if the question is how many categories does a hurricane have, and the answer is 5, and right here in the red it says 5, you're going to go over to your mobile device and click this red button, okay? So once again, you cannot watch and play the event on the exact same thing. Once again, this afternoon at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on my channel. I'm going to go back to the steps once again. As soon as you get to my YouTube channel, scroll all the way down until you see the live event. Then you go into the description, click show more, click that link, and then I will provide you with a game pin to join. And once again, please keep in mind that you cannot watch and play on the same device. Now, coming up right after this, a relief from all the heat and humidity thanks to a massive change in our weather pattern. Alrighty, and to end off tonight's video, let's go ahead now and talk about our weather pattern as it is going to be shifting over the next couple of days. Here is what is left of Ida. We now have a cold front on the back of it that goes throughout the Carolinas and then eventually into the Gulf Coast states. And we also now have a very strong warm front that extends to the mid-Atlantic and then eventually into the Northeast. And along with that, we now have a very strong range of high pressure that is causing a lot of dry air to form behind the frontal boundary. And as we shift into tomorrow, this big area of low pressure along with this cold front is going to eventually shift out towards the east off of our coastline. And as that happens, this massive ridge of high pressure is going to eventually swing into our area, and that is going to dry up any air that might be very, very moist in the atmosphere. That could lead to a lot of humidity and potential heat indexes well over 90 degrees. So here's a look at today versus tomorrow. The pattern shift is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to feel so much better outside as soon as we can get all of this very moist air out of our area. So here's a look at today. Our dew point right now is around 65, okay? Our humidity is over 75%, close to 100, and last but not least, because of that, our heat index has been well over 90, potentially close to around 100. Now, as this area of high pressure comes into our area and dries up any moisture in the atmosphere, that will bring our dew points down from 65 down to 20. It will bring our humidity down from 75 to 80% down to 50%. And last but not least, going from a heat index of 95, now we're going to be going down to a heat index below 80. It is going to feel so much better as we head into tomorrow because of this massive ridge, because of this massive weather change that is going to be happening. This ridge of high pressure is going to be our best friend going into tomorrow and then eventually into Friday. All right, please be sure to visit my website above at www.liamsweather.org. Once again, I will be hosting my trivia tonight this afternoon at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Here's my social media. Here comes my Twitter bouncing in at LiamsWeather621. There's my Instagram at Liam Kenny. And then last but not least, for all of you Facebook junkies, I am also on Facebook at Liam Kenny. And always be sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. You click that notification bell on, and also you click that like button if you are enjoying the content. All right, that is it for tonight. Beside my live event, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you tonight.